We just talked about what happened in Game 4 earlier in the show. We talked about the changes that have to come, but we have to talk about the other elephant in the room, which is something that, Jason, you said in over 500 games covering the Cavs at Rocket Arena, you had never seen before, and that was the takeover of Knicks fans at Rocket Arena and the discourse that has followed. I will tell you guys, before the game started, about 60 minutes before the game started, there were "Let's Go Knicks" chants.
Yeah.
Echoing throughout Rocket Arena while Donovan, James, Evan, and those guys were warming up in a way I have never heard before for any arena, any sport I've covered. But Jason, over 500 games is a first for you as well. What'd you make of the Knicks takeover? And does it say anything about Cleveland that they allowed the New York fan base to have such a presence in Game 4?
No, in some ways it really shouldn't be all that surprising. It's sort of like the Cubs fans taking over Progressive Field for the World Series games, although that was a Game 7. This was a Game
I was
4.
way more disappointed at the Cubs than this.
Yeah, this is a 3-0
The team gave
series.
them reason to sell their tickets.
Yeah, this is a 3-0 series that the last couple of minutes of Game 3, the Cavs looked like they quit.
That's crazy.
So,
that's nasty work.
Yeah.
So, that is nasty work,
God,
bro.
It was a complete takeover last night of Knicks fans coming in. I mean, how long has it been since the Knicks were in the NBA Finals? So this is a fan base that's just been dying for this moment.
Is that the last?
No,
Yeah, it was 99.
99.
They lost the Spurs.
Yeah.
So you're talking 27 years waiting for this moment where, you know, Cleveland won a championship 10 years ago, and everyone knew how this was going to go. Yeah. So I wasn't totally shocked to see it, but it was still jarring to see it in the moment. And I think watching how they played, watching how that arena reacted, hearing all of the cheers for the Knicks fans, I think prompted a lot of that tweet that you saw from Dan.
And he should have.
I think Dan was embarrassed by what he did in his own arena last night.
And Dan wasn't blaming the fans. He credited the fans.
Yeah.
And I thought that was telling, too. And by the way, Dan suddenly is up front and very present again. After being behind the scenes and very quiet.
Yeah, he's still, like, his son they're hand in hand. Like, Grant very much has a pretty big role with this team. It's right. Grant and Dan together. But we'll see what the fallout of this is. But I've never seen anything like what we saw.
Man, you can't, bro. You just can't. You can't have that happen, man. As a businessman, as an owner, as in an organization, you cannot have people in the mezzanine just up there having a good old picnic, a party. They listen. This is crazy, and you know why the attitude of laissez, it don't start. People always say this. Coaches always tell you, you don't start losing today when you don't, go out and work out. You don't start losing today when you don't decide to eat the right things. You don't start losing when you come into the arena and everybody is quiet and you're doing no, you start losing day by day by day by day. And then you get to a point where you actually have your head coach saying, well, I thought we played pretty good. And then this happens. See, Dan, you should be ashamed because that is your legacy. The city of Cleveland is people that want to come and show up, and people work hard. People ain't got no money up in here. People, look, gas is $10 a gallon, like at this point. Bananas and fruit, it's $7. People spend their hard-earned money. It's somebody that spent their hard-earned money that came in there and watched your team get smoked in a closeout game by 40 for your coach to say, oh, I think we played pretty good. That's your legacy? That's what you standing on? And you gonna have people coming in here disrespecting your city, disrespecting your arena, and that's what you're gonna get. Because the Knicks don't respect you, guess what? None of the major cities respect you. The only reason they think you got a championship to start with the first time is because you got blessed with LeBron James. Anybody else you come in here with, they got the same attitude. They cash these checks and, well, we'll learn next year. We'll figure it out next year. I guarantee Kenny Atkinson wouldn't have said that crap in New York because in other big cities, they fire coaches immediately. Coach of the year, bye. So here's what you need to figure out. You need to figure out if this is what you want. You want other teams coming here clowning you, and because obviously The Knicks don't fear you. The Knicks don't care nothing about what you're doing. And I'm telling you, you need to start looking at your organization and saying, is this what we want to have happen? Because this is going to continue to happen when you play good teams. Because they don't respect Cleveland at all. They clowning you on TV. It's crazy.
Yeah, all those are very valid points. I think Dan's a prideful man. And I think this stings more than anything that's happened in the last couple of years. It's one thing if you lose in a hard-fought 7-game and you just go down and you weren't the better team.
Right.
That isn't what happened here. What happened here was we watched a never-before-seen meltdown in Game 1 in the final 7.5 minutes. We'd never seen that before.
Ever.
A 22-point lead evaporated, and they were outscored 44-11 in the final 7 minutes of overtime. And that carried over to Game 2, and then it traveled with both teams for Game 3. I would like to sit here and say, how dare the fans do what they did? I did say that after Game 7 in 16 when we sold the tickets to the Cubs fans. Also, economics does come into play. Cleveland is not a wealthy city. Cleveland is a Rust Belt city still trying to figure out what we are post-industrial revolution. We don't know. We're not a white-collar city. Columbus is a lot closer to a white-collar city. Their economics are much more advanced and different than ours. Ours are still get your lunch pail and go to work. And so what do we value? We value when a team does the same thing. When the team represents who we are, we put our arms around them and say, man, look at the way these guys were diving on the floor for loose balls. Look at the way this team refused to quit. We couldn't say that. So, unfortunately, the smart fans coming into Game 4 turned it into a financial windfall, and the foolish fans showed up thinking something different was going to happen than it did the first 3 games. And I hate to call diehard fans foolish, but if you had a chance to sell your ticket for 10 times the value for Game 4 and you instead showed up to that funeral, today you feel like a fool.
At least
I don't
play
think there's
hard.
any other way to say it.
Jay, at least play hard. Like, there
Yes.
should be no reason that...
And then the starters coming out. When
9
the starters
minutes.
come out, what the hell was that?
9 minutes, you got the bench guys in, and this is a closeout game of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Did
That's
the Knicks rest
embarrassing.
their starters when they were down 22?
No.
It could have been a logical and prudent thing to do. Now they weren't tired because they only played 4 games in the series leading up to it. But
They fought.
they fought. And
That's
what
all
did
they
we
wanted
do?
to see.
Our coach got the white flag for everybody to see. He waved it and told all of his $100 million plus roster to come sit down on the bench. Let's give the subs some time. That's not what Cleveland pays for. And they shouldn't pay for it. And I think you're right. Dan's message inside that tweet was he's embarrassed. He thanked the fans for being as loyal as they were. And he promised us this is not going to happen again.
He bust fans to Detroit. He obviously cares. He bust fans. We saw it.
You know who the playoff MVP was Dan.
He he actually cares. Listen, you say what you want to against Dan Gilbert. I respect you for actually going the extra mile to do whatever you can to give your team an advantage. Now you need to look inside that locker room in your front office and figure out if those people are working just as hard as you. Because you cannot have 2 or 3 people here or there just thinking that it's okay. No, it's not okay,
How
man.
do you think he feels today about going into the second apron?
That check. What that check look like?
Well, they cut it in half. It's a $65 million tax check, $280 million total in payroll and taxes.
How do you think he feels about writing that tax check?
Not real good.
Nope.
Not real good.
Because that's what you got for it.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're in the second apron 2 years in a row, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, it freezes in the second apron multiple years in a row. It freezes a future draft pick.
It's already frozen. Just
Oh,
got
wait.
Frozen.
What?
Hold on, we missed that.
2033. Oh, we talked about it
I
before.
forgot. What? Hold on.
Their 2033 first round pick is frozen.
You getting your
So-
assets
And
frozen?
that's for being in the second apron 2 years in a row.
No, that's for entering
getting
the
into the
second.
second
That's for
apron.
entering the second apron.
Well,
So what's 2
is there
in a row
another?
then?
Is there another punishment,
So-
Mike, for 2 years in a row?
No.
Okay.
The punishment is 3 and 5 years.
Okay.
So no.
Oh, that's what it is. Sorry.
so no team. If you're in the second apron 3 years, 3 times within a 5-year period, that 2033 pick, which is now frozen, it can't be traded, will fall to 30th. Regardless of how the Cavs finish in the 32-33 season, they will pick 30th. They will pick last in the first round.
Hey man, you want to see?
So you can't team like Phoenix was a second apron team, and they got out of it.
They really want to restructure the power in the NBA, don't they?
So they've done it.
They have done it.
So, but if you take 2 bites at the apple in back-to-back years, you now cannot enter the second apron for the next 3.
Wow.
So that's why it's prudent to get out of it in year 2 and not do it in back-to-back years.
But he chose to.
Well, they've only been in it once.
Yeah.
So getting under that second apron.
Choosing to enter it comes at a
It
cost.
starts the clock.
Yeah.
It starts the clock on the
next 4 years.
An apron clock.
Yeah, right.
For over a 5-year stretch.
Right.
So that 2033 pick cannot be traded.
Hey, you want to see a?
And real quick, G, just to give you guys a heads up, the projected second apron line for next season is $222 million.
Oh boy.
The Cavaliers, assuming James Harden takes his player option,
And he will.
with 4 open roster spots, would be at $225 million, $3 million into the second apron.
I think that they will get
So
out.
LeBron's going to have to pay the Cavs to come here.
Well,
No,
but
that's why the Harden extension, taking a lower number, that
Yeah,
brings
no,
you out of
I-
it. They have other moves, but when we keep talking about, and you're going to hear this 1,000 times next couple of weeks, just blow it up.
you
can't.
can't.
It's not that you can't. It is just not simply as easy as.
Well, they don't control
X,
any of
Y,
their
and Z.
picks.
Hey, damn man, this is bad.
They've got I think they're 29th in the first round this year, right, Mike? I think
They're
they picked
29th, and they don't have their own first round pick till 2031.
Well, they have their own first round pick this year, and they could trade
Then
it.
after that, until 31.
And they don't control. Yeah, I mean they've got swap rights given out. The Hawks control their pick in 28, I think it is.
So this really truly was an all-in year for Dan.
This is disrespectful, Dan. You want to see somebody get mad? Start freezing rich white guys' bank accounts. You get anytime you frozen. What you mean? I can't.
That's my money.
I can't access my savings and money market account. They freezing your assets right now, Dan. Come on now, you got to do something. I hope.
The NBA saying, I don't care if you're rich.
This is crazy.
You're gonna
I see
pay a price.
I see why that pressure on him. Like, you got to think about it. You looking like I done paid the most money. I'm still paying for this. And the Knicks fans, and then the tap dance. You know the Dolans, how many rich Dolans is it? It's like 17 of them. They calling the Dolans in Cleveland. Yeah, dog, we really put the boots to y'all. Nasty work, man. Nasty work. We got to figure something out here. We got to figure it out. It's looking bad.
So here's their first round picks. Then we'll take a break.
You can't even spend your way out of it. That's
No.
not an option.
So they have San Antonio's first round pick this year, but it's a first round pick. It's 29th pick this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a late. It's
29. It's already the 29th
38th
pick.
pick.
In 2028, they have the worst end of a pick swap with Utah and Atlanta. They have the worst of the 3. That was part of the DeAndre Hunter trade.
Yeah.
They don't have a first round pick in 2029. In 2030, it's a first round pick with swap protections. And in 2031, they get back to their own first round pick. All those swap protections are still part of the initial Donovan Mitchell trade, by
And
the way.
how have the Spurs built their team?
Through lottery
Tanking.
picks that panned out very well.
Tanking.
And then, because tanking's step 1 in the process,
Well, what's
having a lot of picks and nailing them.
oh
Yeah.
I mean that's the Thunder model. The Thunder.
Yeah, but same for San Antonio, right?
Yeah, but
Like you got it. You have to
slightly
have
different,
picks
Sid.
to hit on them, but just because you have them doesn't mean you're going to build a
Right,
team.
right. You gotta hit
then
'em.
you've got to hit on them.
Yeah.
And it makes rebuild. I don't know what the path is.
And we look crazy for thinking DeAndre Hunter was the missing piece.
Dan-
We looking crazy.
I want to make a plea for you right now, Dan.
Come on,
Gilbert.
man. Please do it.
See, in Major League Baseball, there is no spending cap. Please buy the Guardians. Spend that money on a baseball team, because if you were the leading payroll guy in Major League Baseball, with this front office, you're going to win a World Series. I'm not going to say it's going to happen year 1, 2, 3. If you spent like he spends in the NBA, and you have this front office, that's a World Series.
Does he have enough money to do that?
oh yeah.
Dan can buy the Guardians. I mean, we've already got Blitzer Group taking over in a year or 2.
That's crazy. What kind of bag does he
Please,
have? His bag is
please
like that.
buy the Cleveland Guardians.
His bag.
Please. All right.